Would you like some life advice and inspiration from older women? Go ahead and check out my Wise Old Broads interviews in my Wise Old Broad playlist. Thanks. Hello, darlings. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anja. You are watching Hey Anja Girl, and honey, I just really need to know. Is everybody healthy? I really hope so. I miss you guys. I miss creating content for you guys. I have been doing a lot behind the scenes, but I felt compelled to come and make a video about this week's incidents. So I'm sure everybody has heard about that debacle that Kanye West had, and you know what, just the rudeness and ridiculousness of him disrespecting the great prophetess Harriet Tubman, and also the young black girl who was at his rally, or whatever you wanted to call it, asking him a simple question about his policies. The shame of it all. And it's easy to look at him and his disrespect, and I think the biggest part was that he disrespected that woman, but there was another erratic woman who was white, and he not only coddled her, but he hugged her at the same time. And you look at things like that and you're like, I'm done, I'm over it. And you see other things where so many black women are being disrespected, unprotected, and just strewn out there in society, and it's very disheartening. But I felt compelled to come on and just remind you guys of what you can do to protect yourself in times like these. So I actually wrote an article about it too. It's on my blog, HeyAnjaGurl.com. Go check it out when you get a chance. It's being revamped, but at the same time, I am still pushing out content. Now, back to it. Tool number 1, put yourself first. Sis, if you are not putting yourself first, if you are not completely and totally loving and valuing yourself first as you are in your precious black being, who will? Absolutely nobody. I understand that there is racism out there. I understand there is colorism out there. I understand there's texturism out there. There's an ism out there. There's an ism for the isms out there. But if you are not caring for and covering yourself and valuing yourself the most and foremost, nobody else will and nobody else can. So put yourself first. That means putting your health first, putting your mental health first, putting your spiritual health first, making sure that you are completely fed first before trying to feed anybody else. It reminds me, on a plane, they tell you make sure that you have your oxygen and everything together before you get ready to help the other person. Because if you don't, and if your tank isn't filled, and if everything isn't good with you, you cannot help somebody else. So that is tool number 1. Put yourself first. Tool number 2, exercise. Exercise is so important because it balances out our bodies. It balances out our health. It allows us to get all those stressors out, and let's face it, this stuff is stressful. It is very stressful. It's stressful being told that you and your very natural being and how you are is not acceptable and appropriate and the best. It's stressful being made fun of. It's stressful not being protected. It reminds me of how Megan Thee Stallion just got her foot shot at, and it's like nobody is, like, there's assumptions here and there, but who has come to really protect her and move forth in that situation? So exercise is absolutely necessary because we need to balance out. We need homeostasis in our bodies. That links back to tip number 1, which was putting yourself first. So make sure that you're getting your exercise on, okay? It's very important. Tip number 3, hug somebody, or in these COVID times, hug yourself. Hugging releases oxytocin, and oxytocin is so important because it is not only the bonding drug or the bonding hormone that bonds us to somebody else, but it also reduces blood pressure. And this also stems back to the last 2 things. If your blood pressure is high because your stress levels are high, that creates no homeostasis in your body, and it's just a breeding ground for illness. So hug yourself. if you don't want nobody else touching you during these COVID times. Or if you have somebody who you do touch, hug them. And it reminds me of that song, Black women hugging, black women hugging. What skip was that? Black women hugging, black women hugging. I cracked myself up. Tip number 4, watch or listen to something inspirational and motivational. Now, but with purpose. So in this case, I don't say like, I would suggest, because there is a specific issue here with not seeing black women protected by their male counterparts, it's easy to develop an attitude as if all black men are bad or all black men ain't ish or something like that. Whereas we don't want to have that mindset, because that creates bitterness and resentment within us. So there is a series on the purpose and power of men and the purpose and power of women, written by Dr. Miles Monroe, the late great Dr. Miles Monroe. And he also has videos here on YouTube too, so you can go ahead and check it out. But what I love about it is that when you read it, it gives you the view of men and women from God's perspective. So when you're looking at somebody from God's perspective, it's a little harder to be so fed up with them. In terms, like, it really helps you out, because you don't want to have a heart of being fed up with people. Trust me, ask me how I know, because I can get really to that place of being done with somebody, but I have to take it back and bring it back, because they're still God's child, and I still want to be as healthy and happy as possible as I can. And we really don't want to allow people to steal our joy or steal our peace or steal our happiness. But not just people, also situations and circumstances. Those are my 4 tips on how to protect yourself at times like these. Those are my 4 practical tips. If you want to know more about my spiritual tips that I suggest, go ahead and look at the article at HeyAnjaGurl.com. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. And if you feel like there's someone else that you know that could benefit from this, send this to them too, because I am in the business of caring for, making sure that you remember who you are and caring for you, putting you first. So you guys take care and have a blessed one. Bye.